This week's episode of The Next Frontier, well, with calls for farmers to diversify to high-value crops, some farmers in parts of Western Kenya have taken up the challenge and are growing chilies, a crop they say has more than double their income as compared to growing traditional crops like maize. Well, Philip Keitani tells us more in this week's episode of The Next Frontier.
For many years, Makutano Farm in Bungoma was characterized by collard green crops. Although these looked like a normal agribusiness venture, it was not only labor-intensive, but paidless. It was until early this year that this farmer in Kandui, Bungoma County, decided to venture into chili farming, never to regret. At the farm, we meet Amos Sifuna, the farm manager, tendering for the heavy fruiting chili crops.
We farm many horticulture produce. Basically, we farm chilies for 1 acre, whereby we have contracted another company from Eldoret, whereby we have the ready market to sell. The contract says they will be taking our produce at 200, ranges 220 to 250 per kg, so we have the red market.
Sifuna moves from one plant to another, ensuring that he destroys the seemingly stubborn weeds. Although he had done weeding for the crop 2 weeks ago, the heavy rains pounding this area keeps weeds growing very fast.
The chilies, as we compare the horticulture produce we were farming the other years, here we have direct market, but other horticulture crops like sukuma wiki and local vegetables that we are farming, we were just relying on the local market, whereby sometimes the market flat and maybe it doesn't benefit the farm properly.
Sifuna explained that he harvested the crop for the first time a week ago and is looking forward for the next harvest soon. Having planted in April, he had anticipated to have the first harvest in August. However, the prolonged dry season was a major hindrance to the crop's timely maturity.
The chilies, the harvesting period is long because it takes like 3 years. The first year you start harvesting, then the second year you harvest, third year you harvest. So we planted these chilies we transplanted as from April this year, and harvesting started this month, which was last week, this month, and the first harvest we harvested was around 20 kg dried ones. So we are expecting to harvest in the interval of after 2 weeks, we harvested the chilies.
All is not lost though, as he is already hoping to pocket earnings from the farm soon, having been assured of a ready market. The maiden harvest gave him 20 kilograms of chilies, each of which will fetch 250 shillings. He is also lucky to have been contracted by a processor from Eldoret. This means he is assured of a market for his produce and will not have to pass through brokers who are notorious of taking advantage of the farmers. Chili farming is a more lucrative agribusiness compared to collard greens. From 1 acre of chili, he anticipates to make over 50,000 shillings monthly. From collard greens though, he used to make 60,000 shillings annually.
We are trying this 1 acre as a pilot farm, but we are intending to plant like 2 to 3 acres because the goodness of chilies, the chilies cross as a shrub.
Lack of water is his greatest challenge, and he wishes to have drip irrigation connection in the farm. This way, Sifuna says, he will be able to harvest almost all year round, thus making more money.
The challenges we are facing in the farm and we are about to come or to cope with it maybe the challenge of drought. The farm normally rely on rain-fed, and the chilies, the production normally continues as per time. So what we are targeting, we want to install the source of water so that the production can continue consequently.
Sifuna's boss resides in the city, and he has taken upon himself to ensure maximum production. He enjoys eating food with mild chili, he says, and so does he enjoy farming the crop.
The maximum production per acre, we are anticipating to get around 800 kgs.
In the future, he adds that he wants to introduce intensified poultry farming so that he can get manure to keep the farm fertile. Besides, he wants to increase the acreage under chili at least 3 acres in the next 1 year. However, this will be much dependent on rainfall patterns, among other factors. To succeed in chili farming, one needs to have fertile land, certified seeds, and possibly a stable source of water. In a new project dubbed Market Access Upgrade Program, United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO will be supporting chili farmers like Simiyu. Stakeholders against this value chain will be among the beneficiaries of the 4-year project, which aims at ensuring high standards for produce for exports, regional and local markets. The program is funded by the European Union. MACA program will also focus on macadamia nuts, herbs, spices, mangoes, and passion fruits. Philip Keitan for The Next Frontier.
Quite an interesting piece there by Philip Keitani, just trying to highlight what it takes to be a chili farmer in Kenya. Well, that brings us to the end of business today as of this hour. Well,